Yo, so one of the biggest issues that men in particular face with their physique nowadays is that kind of skinny fat look, which does include not being able to see your abs properly, which is, let's be honest, something we all want. I will talk about how to see real development in this area, which will be really valuable. But first of all, here is me at 86 kilos a couple of years ago, and then 14 weeks later, I got down to about 76, 77. And then a few months after that, after a lean gaining phase, I got to 86 kilos, the exact same weight as what I was here starting off. So you can class that as a full body recomp. And that final physique that I showed you there, yes, I was really happy and proud of it at the time, but it would not have happened if I didn't get really lean first, because that is necessary if you want to continue the physique development with phases after that. And that's where people struggle because they just keep going in between cycles. And what I mean by that is, this is a prime example. A lot of people do start the cut, but then begin to feel as if they're looking too skinny in a t-shirt, and they don't like that. So the initial mindset is like, in that moment, okay, let's just start gaining weight again. And then after doing that for a period of time, you start to dislike even more what you see in the mirror, because you suddenly have some extra body fat because you started a so-called bulk, in your words, for a lot of people, when you weren't actually in the position to do so because the cut was not finished. And then again, the cycle repeats because it's back to losing weight, back to gaining weight. You're never committing to a phase for enough time. So yeah, with the whole skinny fat thing, it is really, really key to get as lean as possible first, and then the reverse diet comes in after that, where you are gradually and slowly bumping up calories until you get to about maintenance, and then you can kind of enter that long gaining phase instead of doing a quick bulk, which never really works, right? So that's kind of what I was getting at with the physique pictures that I showed you of myself, which is a prime example. By the way, I've done a whole separate video on that about how I completed that whole process, and the goal essentially is when you finish that fat loss phase to go into that lean gaining phase long term to maintain as much condition as possible. So yeah, if you do want to watch that video, I'll leave the link down below this video. Now, in terms of seeing your abs properly, obviously the less body fat you have, the more visible they will be. I think pretty much everyone knows that. And if your nutrition is on point, that's already a good start. But abs aren't made in the kitchen. In my eyes, I know that's a saying that a lot of people have. Yes, they are revealed in the kitchen, absolutely, but I strongly believe they are made in the gym, and that's where you see real development. They are like any other muscle, right? We need to focus on progressive overload to see growth. And I'm not talking about plank sit-ups. I have nothing against that kind of exercise, but it's not going to be great in terms of significant progress using those movements. So I'm going to share with you the 3 exercises I do on a weekly basis to directly target my abs, which have definitely had a big part to play. And I'm going to share my favorite one at the end. So of course 1 and 2 are very important also, but the third one is honestly one that not many people do. So yeah, first up we've got the abdominal machine crunch. I will give you an alternative, by the way, because I know not every gym has this machine, which is a shame because yeah, if you don't have it, I feel for you. It's an absolute gem. But this is a little bit more upper abs. I use straps with these, as you can see on the video here, to attach to the handles to strengthen my grip and maximize stability to produce as much force as possible. Elbows to knees, you can load it and progress it really well every week. Absolutely love this one. If you don't have the machine, then big shame, but you can just do this cable crunch with either a rope or a V-bar, anything that kind of feels comfortable for you to use there. But again, it's elbows to knees, it's targeting the same area, same sort of motion. I just don't love it personally. It's not a favorite of mine, and I'm just grateful I have the machine variation. But yeah, if you don't have that available, that's probably the next best option. Now this one is for the side abs, so your obliques. Using a Smith machine, I'm going to call these the penguin because that's probably an easier way to remember them, and I kind of low-key look like a penguin doing these, but they are so effective. I use straps with these as well. Here's the video that I actually recorded recently explaining them. So this is what I do for obliques. You need straps. Well, you don't need straps, but they definitely help. Smith machine, firm grip, opposing hand on the hip. Think about opening up this rib cage here and closing. But it's important when you're coming down here to just let the shoulder drop and not shrug it up, but actually use your obliques. By the way, quick one on wrist wraps, because a lot of people still don't have them. You are leaving progress on the table. The ones I have are called Versa grips, which are like a rubber material. Just look them up on Google. You should be able to find some for pretty cheap. But yeah, I use them for pull exercises, deadlifts, but I also use them for a couple of the movements I showed you there, like the oblique exercise on the Smith machine, the abdominal machine crunch, just helping my grip and stability. So if you do not have them, please get them. And I'm not even sponsored or anything like that. I'm just saying, man to man, get some fucking straps. Anyway, on with the rest. Now for the holy grail, which is actually a hip flexor exercise as well, which is a movement I've been raving about for years and I don't see anyone do it ever. And honestly, if you add this to your program, you will feel it. It's a bit more lower abs, as I said, also working your hip flexors, which is a nice little bonus. But yeah, like I'm showing you here in the video, 2 feet in the handles, okay? 2 legs at the same time, bringing your knees past 90 degrees, ideally. Big squeeze on the lower abs, and then slow release, extend and repeat. Of course, guys, I could show you loads more movements, but at the end of the day, if you use those 3 effectively and do them all at least once per week, 2 to 3 sets each time, and progress it every week, you're going to see real development. A lot of people just focus on way too many exercises every week, thinking you can spot reduce body fat, which is not the case, doing all these sit-ups, planks, etc. Do these loaded movements, and if you've not done them properly before, or even tried to progress them properly before, you are going to be shocked pleasantly by your results. So yeah, lads, if you do implement everything I said in this video, you will 100% see real progress, and that is an absolute promise if you do it right. If you are interested in one-to-one coaching, I will leave a very easy to fill out application form below this video. I'm not the type of coach to tie you into any contracts or upfront payments. I'm someone who just wants you to succeed without taking your life savings. So that's an option for you, no obligation. God bless.